Okay. This is take 2 of this episode because I feel like I fumbled the first one pretty bad. And it will never be released because it's gone forever. So there you go.
So why are you talking about it?
I don't know. Because my brain has died. So, yeah, I do need food. Today's episode is called Free Product Doesn't Pay the Bills, but because we are in the habit of breaking rules lately, one of the rules that I have is like, free product doesn't pay the bills. Don't take free product to detract from your value elsewhere. But one of the last episodes I did, it was called the prospecting party, where I kind of talked about reaching out to sponsors. One of the conversations that came up was how to get around we have a limited budget, so we can only do free product conversation. When I presented that conversation, I didn't do the best job of adding context to it. That's our theme lately is adding a lot of context. So the proper context behind that was I wanted to get a meeting with the people. I wanted to actually talk to them. I didn't want to just be pushed off for free product. So the meeting was kind of interesting. I learned a lot from it. I don't know if we've actually done a recap of the Stratia meeting, but what we learned from it is that they don't typically do much of partnership marketing, period. They really only want large quantities of eyes on their product. Like they only donate to places that get televised and have like,
And they donate. That's the thing, is they donate product for those things.
Coverage. So they gave us free product, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of cool to be working with a skincare brand. And here's the thing with it, right? Is that it's not, oh my gosh, they only gave me free product. Like, what am I going to do with 30 bottles of this stuff? It's more like, how can I make this work for me? One of the follow-up questions I asked them was like, how can I track the people? How can I track the return on investment that I get you guys? How do I know who bought your product because of what we do and the representation that we bring you? Still waiting to hear back from them. It's the weekend, so fair. But it's one of those things of following up, because now I get to build my portfolio. I've never worked with a skincare brand before. So it's an opportunity to prove that introducing a new outside brand, outside industry into motorsports could actually work. It's an opportunity to have proof, to have tangible evidence of like, look, working in introducing a new industry into motorsports that hasn't been here before could work. But it's not just that. It's also, how can I use this to benefit my audience? And one of the things that I kind of talk about is like the product that they donated. What it does is it creates like a barrier on your skin. So it helps with windburn. If you have windburn, it's got mild sunscreen in it, so it helps with the fact that we're going to be outside all day. And it really helps with, if you've ever sweated really bad in your helmet and it's dusty outside, that dust collects on your pads and it creates just this sandpaper effect on your cheeks and your forehead, and it's the worst. But what it does when it creates that little barrier on your skin, it helps prevent that like rubbing irritation, so you don't get that sandpapery effect, which is really cool. So here's the thing, like if it's really hot outside and it's windy and it's dusty, my students are out there sweating their ass off and they're starting to get that irritation in their cheeks, I can go, hey, you should try this. This might help. And it might take that irritation away from them. And that's not me promoting Stratia, that's me helping my students. And Stratia gets that representation through the fact that Stratia just helped them with their irritation or with their sunburn or their windburn, whatever the thing is that I recommended that specific thing for them to be. Stratia doesn't have any logos on anything, nothing from me specifically, because I find that they get enough representation through the fact that their product helped somebody. I think that that's fair enough representation for the fact that they only gave me free product. Now, if they wanted to pay me, then their logo goes on stuff. Because there's only so much space that you can have to represent brands. And I think a brand that doesn't have a product that can be represented should pay for that representation in other ways. And that's kind of where the monetary stuff comes from. And we talked about this for like endemic brands too. If if Dunlop were to sponsor me, just by giving me free tires or even just a discount on my tires, then Dunlop gets the representation in the fact that I run Dunlop tires. And that's it. It's the same thing with Hermoto. Hermoto sponsors me. They don't pay me anything. I don't make money off of it. They just send me free gear every once in a great blue moon sometimes. And in exchange, I have a discount code that I can track how many people I send to them. And that's it. So Hermoto gets, I wear all Hermoto gear, and that's it. There's no Hermoto logos on anything else. That's it. That's the representation they get for free product, because I genuinely think that it's such valuable space that it shouldn't be used for free product. I don't. And that's just me. That's my beliefs. It's not a rule. It's just I'm really trying to really focus on giving context to these situations, because I think if a real estate agent pays you like $5,000 to represent their brand and to send them clients and customers, they don't have a way to have a product that represents themselves that you can just give away. Angel's got a thing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for the people listening, I kind of already know what your answer is going to be to this. But when you say logos on your stuff, do you just mean logos, or do you mean like content in general? Like, what do you mean? Because we talk about not having just logos on your bike.
Yeah. So when it comes to like free product and stuff, like, so what brought all of this up was I'm designing pit shirts for the TKO challenge. And I thought to myself, wow, these shirts are really bare. I would actually like to represent some people. I like actually think that some people should have some representation. Mm-hmm. So I posted up a thing that was like, if you want your company to be like, I already forgot. If you want to support the TKO challenge, I'm wondering if there's any small businesses in my audience that would love to be represented. And I had 2 people reach out. One was like ready to pay me. She was ready to drop dollars. She like already had an amount in mind, and she was like, I'm going to pay you this much. Just do your thing. Do whatever you want. And another person messaged me and was like, I can't actually support you monetarily, but I would love to build you a guide that you can like send to your audience. What do you think happened with that? The person that paid me gets the logo representation, and the person that just wanted to give me a free guide to send out to my audience got a free guide that got sent out to my audience. And that's all they get. Mm-hmm. You know, the person that paid me, I asked her, I was like, what is your goals out of this? Like, what do you want out of this? And she said, honestly, we have enough work. We are already busy. We just want to work with more motorsports-based audiences. Now we have the opportunity to be a little more picky, and we do want to be more picky. We want to work with people that will let us ride our bikes when the weather is nice, and we want to work with like that kind of stuff. And I was like, cool. I know people. Mm-hmm. Let me make some calls for you, and I will send some emails by the end of the week. And she was like, done, sold, and wrote a check. So there's no activation that I could give to my audience for her. There isn't. There's because she's a mural artist. She paints like these huge brick buildings. So there's no activation whatsoever in my audience that could like get them excited about what she does. But instead, she has access to my Rolodex. I know people, so I networked for her. That was what she paid me for. Mm-hmm. Now the free product, the guide for my audience, just gets sent out to my audience, and that's all it will ever be. I won't talk about it. I won't just because I don't have time for that. I genuinely don't have time for that. And that comes back to like, it costs money to help people, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can send me a free guide because I think the free guide is beneficial to my audience. Mm-hmm. I do. I believe that it is important for people to know what they should eat before a clinic. That's what it was. So she wrote a guide to like what you should eat the week before a clinic, the day before a clinic, what snacks you should bring to the clinic, and what you should eat after the clinic, because we have a really hard time getting people to actually eat for the clinics. Yeah. A lot of people think that they should skip breakfast and then like have a salad for lunch and then eat a really big dinner. Like they're running off of a banana the whole day. And that is not okay. Mostly because they're like, well, I just want to eat light. And it's like, no.
Fuel.
No. No.
It's a whole separate discussion.
Yeah, it is a whole separate discussion. But because I genuinely believe that that is beneficial for my audience, I will share it.
Mhm.
And that gets them exposure, that gets them eyeballs. And that's it. That's all it will ever be. They get eyeballs, and after that, it's up to the audience. But because Arbor Street Studios paid me, I take the next step and I engage the person they want to engage. I call up my friends over at Larson's Cycle, over at Moon Motorsports, over at Up North Power and Sports. I call my friends at Mad Bro Power Sports. I call my friends at Bob Java Hut. Like, I call all of these businesses that I know. I know the owners. I know their friends. I know their family. I call all of them and I'm like, hey, there's this really cool person who does these really cool things. I think you should talk to her. Is that something that would interest you? Is it cool if I pass your information along? And they're like, yeah, like, totally. I will absolutely listen to whatever your friends. That's using my reputation, my image, and my like presence, my network to get your foot in the door.
Mhm.
And that, I think, is totally worth it. She gets a minimum commission of $5,000 a job. So she paid me $500 to connect her with 10 people that might sign her for $5,000. I would say that's a pretty solid investment.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
Absolutely. But a free guide that I just email blast to my audience. How many people open an email blast? Do you open an email blast?
Sometimes
Do you open those like promotional emails you get from like Kohl's?
I don't shop, so no.
Yeah, like
no. If I don't know who it is or like what it's about, then no, not usually.
yeah, if it's just like a promotion,
Or
whatever.
if I'm really, really bored
Yeah.
and I want to clean out my inbox, then I'll look at some stuff. But usually no.
See, and that's the difference.
Mhm.
That's the difference between paid and free. We were talking about like the Alpine Star boots. I paid for these boots, but we're going to use them as an example because I really love these. If Alpine Stars reached out to me and they said, Catherine, we'd love to send you a free pair of boots, I'd be like, oh my God, like, yes, please, totally, 100%. And I would be over the moon about it. I would talk about it for probably a week, and then you would never hear anything about it again. Yeah. I would be so like, oh my gosh, these boots. But the back like half of that, if they gave me the boots for free, I would wear their boots just like I wear her moto. And some people would message me on the internet and be like, Catherine, what boots are those? And I'd be like, well, lucky for you, they're Alpine Stars and they're the Tech 7s. And they're like, that's crazy because the women's Tech 7s suck. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. I 100% know. But if you get them in the men's go down to a size 5. And they'd be like, what? And I'd be like, yeah, they fit great for tiny little small children feet.
Not all of us can wear those.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. And then I would get comments or I would see questions on Facebook like, my feet are so tiny. What do I wear? And I'd be like, lucky for you, the Tech 7s go down to a size 5. It's awesome. And that's it.
Mhm.
That's all I would do is I would answer questions if they came up. And that's pretty much it. I wouldn't promote it or anything. But if they paid me, then they get to be part of the story.
Mhm.
I would figure out a way to be able to not only engage my audience in them, but I would figure out ways to get them to collaborate with other creators, whether it's the example I used in the old recording that didn't go through is like, what if I know a blacksmith and a cobbler. I don't know how the blacksmith would play into it, but I'm sure we could do something cool. But like, what if we did on-site like cobbling for Alpine Star shoes? Or what if you got custom 50% off of custom soles? I don't know anything about boots, but I'm almost certain there's somebody out there that can chop.
Somebody could do something.
I'm almost certain there's somebody out there that could chop the bottom of your boot off and like custom form it to your foot or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you would pay for to build that relationship.
Yeah.
Or something else you would pay for is like, I could make a 3-part series to engage my audience, and I could do like clinic. Maybe we'd have a section on like taking care of your gear. That's a good one.
Mhm.
You should figure out how to do that. Like because I have a segment. I have optional additional classes inside of our clinics where we talk about motorcycle maintenance, and we talk about women's health in motorsports is
Mhm.
one that we don't promote. We don't talk about it, but it's a voluntary topic that we can talk about because I think it's extremely important, because there was a lot of stuff that I was never taught
Mhm.
that I should have been because nobody wanted to talk about it. And I think now that I've said it, how to take care of your gear properly is another really incredible topic that
Mhm.
nobody talks about.
Yeah.
So I could go to Alpine Star. In fact, I'm probably going to do that after this. I'm going to write to Alpine Stars and I'm going to say, hey, I just had this really brilliant idea of like how to take care of your boots. It's probably because there's a footwear care manual on attached to these boots, and be like, I would love to do a segment featuring just Alpine Star boots and have people like touch, feel, look at, learn how to condition on your boots. Like, we'll use your boots as the model of how to take care of your boots. And that way people will touch them and engage with it and feel it and see the protection up close and the grip patches and like get that hands-on engagement with the boot. It's not just show and tell. Like it's actually like working with the shoe. And that is a paid activity, not a free activity. But free product doesn't pay the bills, but don't turn down free product just because it's free product. Like, I can't stress this enough. I might have been too much of like a hardcore no free product. Because context is really important. Because I was talking about free product deters from your sticker value. And sticker value just means like, don't take away from the space that somebody else could pay for. Don't give away everything for a free product that somebody could pay for. However, if we're talking like, I mean, when we talk about endemic brands, let me set the stage again for this. When we're talking about endemic brands, you have to understand that most of the time the best they could do is product at a discount, because we're talking about the thing that they built their entire business off of supports other people. So the context for this is like, I get a ton of people now that message me saying like, oh my gosh, your clinics look so amazing, but I can't afford it. Can I attend for free? It's like, I have 6 people I have to pay the salary for, let alone drive them out there or fly them out there, and checked bags cost $120 both ways. Yep. I could not believe that when we got to the airport and they're like, it's going to be $600 to check 3 bags. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, so when you ask for a free spot, that's taking away from somebody else who could have helped us build a better experience. And the same thing goes for product. When you send messages to Alpine Stars asking for free boots, you are asking them to take away a product that they could sell to pay their employees. So I always say, like, the reason why I'm so against free products is I truly believe that it damages the welfare of businesses. I really do. I think if it's in their budget to give you free product, cool. And I think it's the easiest way for them to dismiss us. But I think just leading into a conversation asking for free product is not the way to go, and it's not the way to build a good relationship. Mm-hmm. I think understanding that they have a budget for marketing and that's what you should tap into is a way better way to lead off and develop relationships. Like, I would never reach out to Alpine Stars asking for free boots. I would ask to be part of their marketing budget. And if they turn around and say, well, we can give you free boots instead, I'd be like, okay, I guess that's fine. If that's what you want to hand out, totally fine, because it is a $500 pair of boots. Mm-hmm. Also keep that in mind when people are like, no free product. But if they're willing to give you $500 or thousands of dollars or even tens of thousands of dollars of free product, like if they're going to give you a free bike, like, mm-hmm. shut your mouth and take it. Like, and really understand and ask yourself, is this free product going to benefit my audience or benefit the experience I bring to my audience? Because one of the other things is that sometimes free product allows you to raise the ticket price for the event that you're having. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're going to have a free yoga session before your clinics, then maybe you can up the sticker price. If you're going to have a provided tool support mechanic like van, you can raise the ticket price. And that's where you make your money. That's where you get the like added benefit from having a free product sponsor. You know, so it's not just like, oh, free product means I don't get to pay the bills. Like, no, how can you use that free product to get your bills paid for?
So it's about being creative.
Yeah.
Being creative with what you're given. You shouldn't just aim for the free product, aim above that. But if that's all you're given, what are you going to do with it? Mm-hmm. How is it going to benefit you? Because I think that is important, because some places can't pay you the money that they want to because they're too small, or whatever the reason. And sometimes that's really all they can do for you, is give you that free product. Or maybe that's how the start of the relationship goes, like she said. Maybe you get the skincare now, and in a couple months they see a bunch of stuff on Facebook, and a bunch of women from motorsports are going, hey, yeah, this lady gave me this free product, and now all of this is happening, and it's a snowball effect, and now all of a sudden you're getting checks. Like, that's progression. That's something that could be happening. So how is it going to benefit your future?
Yeah, and we have to keep in mind that this is a long game. This is something that not a lot of people want to recognize. They want the secret, right? The amount of times I've been asked, Catherine, what's the secret? It's like, there is no secret. Like, stop and think. Be a real human. Be genuine. And understand that relationships take time. You can't just walk into an office and walk out with a $10,000 check later. The fastest I've seen it happen is 2 weeks. And even that is still a really long time. But like, on average, it takes about 2.5 years to like actually build a real relationship and have a good network that you can rely on to get your name out there and to back you up and to build your reputation. That's the biggest thing, is like, free product is a good way to build your reputation. Stay with it maybe a year, maybe 2 years. And if it truly is not benefiting you, if it's hurting you, like, a good rule of thumb is if you end up spending more money than you would have if you just paid for the product at full price, don't do it. The reason I say like free product and discounts suck is because if you've ever gone on Hook It and filled out the applications on the Hook It app, so basically what it is like you fill out your name and the amount of races you won and your social media, and it gives you like a number stat out of 1,000. And the closer you are to 1,000, the more discounts you get. But there's a catch with that, where the discounts are like, you get a 40% discount if you spend more than $100, which basically means you're ordering pallets of stuff. Like, you only get 30% off of GoPro if you buy 2 or more GoPros, but you only get 30% off of one of the 2 or more that you end up buying. It's like, I would have just bought 1 GoPro instead of 2, and I ended up spending more money than I would have if I just bought the 1 because I was excited about the discount. Like, that's what I'm trying to warn you guys away from. Don't fall for stupid marketing schemes where it seems like a good deal and it's just their way of like getting people to leave them alone. Like, don't do that. Use free product to prove yourself. And if you're truly not valued for being able to prove yourself, then leave. And I think that's important. I think it's a really good way to build case studies. You should be building case studies. Observe the amount of results that you can get from that free product or discounted product, whatever it is. And like, just like you would for a job promotion, at the end of the year, take your stats, say, look, you gave me a 40% discount and I made you like $500,000. I think you should give me free product. That's kind of dumb of them to be like, nope, we're totally cool. Like, no. Build a reputation, build a name, like get yourself established before you freak out about getting free product. Yes, aim for money. I would totally say aim for a paid deal if you can get it. But if they come back and say, look, all we can give you is free product, say, okay, how can I track this year? How can I build a relationship with this? How does this best get implemented for you? Yeah. I think I should end my rant there. I feel like I have more to say, but I feel like that's a good ending point.
I think that's a good spot to stop.
Okay, I'm gonna go eat some lunch now, considering it's 3:00 and I haven't eaten anything today. My brain doesn't work anymore. So, on that note, we will see you on the road. Time. The rest of our episodes will be on the road. Woohoo! Before Angel goes to Maine. Woohoo! Less woohoo, more boo.
More boo.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. On that note,
bye.
Au revoir.
I have to get fancy. Au revoir.